How's it going, everyone? We did it. We broke out of this downtrend. A candle closed out of it. And now we're at pretty crucial support. Now, just because we broke out of this does not mean we're fully out of this thing. I still think there's a potential for a bear market here, and potential short-term gains are there. But I just want to pull this fib again. We went over this yesterday. Now, I still see right around $50,000. Maybe we could run up here. I still see us getting rejected around 50,000. If we don't, however, and we can push above this, I definitely see a potential for much more upside. Just my only issue here is having this lower low than our previous low. And I really want to reiterate how I'm getting these measurements here. These aren't just something I'm pulling out of my ass here. So typically on run-ups, we'll get around 0.5 for retracement on the fib. And I just want to show you right here. This is a previous run-up. I'm not exactly on them close, but right here would be our 0.5 level on the fib. Now you can see here, we did retrace right around the 0.5 level. We fought around it. We did fall below it. However, we did break above it and we used it as support. And if we continue this, this is our next run up. And this is our 0.5 right here. And then from this run up here, we should have bounced here. And we went over this yesterday. I just wanted to kind of break this back down. And since we fell below that, we got to flip this now. So now we're going to pull our fib from the top. And expect this to be a bear market. Right here is our 0.5, right around $50,000. Maybe a little bit closer to 51,000. So that's why I'm really thinking this thing's going to hit around the 50,000 mark and fall back down. It doesn't mean it's going to. That will just be a confirmation that this is, in fact, a bear market. Are available. We could see some short-term upside here. Potentially, I don't think going long would be a massive risk right now. Long as we hold a certain level of support, which we're going to zoom in on. Take a look at this. You know what? I had to clean up these. Now, currently, we did break out around $41,000. We did retest, but we're falling back down and we're retesting again. We need to hold this level of support here, or we could start to see downside again, and hopefully that doesn't happen. We got the 200-day moving average that we crossed, and we did close over it. We want to stay above that. What we really are looking for, though, is a bounce right here. We don't want to fall lower than this. This is crucial support. We need to hold this to keep going up. Now, with that being said, let's check out another couple coins here that look to have some potential. Kind of break these down a little bit. So this is sand. And right now, we got a nice cup and handle forming. We are seeing some downside here, which is okay, because you can always use your fib. And no alarm until we see it fall back below the 0.5 level. Which, if we are to create a line for ourselves here, horizontal, we can see that it has been previous resistance before. So if we can flip that for support, we'll get a bounce. We'll see some higher movement out of sand. Now, another one that I've been watching a lot because of the upcoming news, which, if you're unaware of the news, on one, also Harmony. Also, what we've been looking at is Harmony. And the reason for that is there's a lot of, we got some events coming up, and if you're curious of what those are, you can look at the last video. We went over those. Same thing. Right now, we are seeing a red candle across the board here on pretty much everything, which is okay. On these spikes, I don't freak out. This could be a bear trap. Wouldn't surprise me. And like I said, you know, if you really want to check this thing, pull out the fib. But yeah, kind of like anything else, really what we want to see is anytime we're approaching support, since we're falling onto it, it's going to be support, it's not resistance now. We do want to get a bounce off of this. We can bounce up here and keep going. Everything will be looking great. On the 1 hour here, I don't see any crazy signals here that I'm too concerned with. No, our RSI was pretty high. Our starch is pretty high. So it's typical for those to need to cool down before we see this moving up. So this is no cause for alarm. We can't just stay green the whole time going up. Luna is another one. So what we got going on with Luna here, we got this inverse head and shoulders forming. The same thing for Luna here. We had this big red candle, which, as I just finished saying, this could just be a bear trap. So these are things I don't typically like to act on. But for me to really want to get into Luna right now is I want to get above $57.93, right in that range. As we can see, let's use our support here. Now it's resistance. So that's a definite level. So that's a level I really need to see it break above before I'd consider buying into Luna. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe if you haven't yet, leave a comment down below, and I will see you next time.